Bertrand Russell was a brilliant Welsh philosopher. He was a recognized aristocrat, an exceptional educator, but also a staunch atheist. His work was exhaustive, covering every field of philosophy with maybe the exception of aesthetics. The work that he did in the discipline of logic was enormously successful, and we benefit from his studies even today. He was also a very public intellectual that regularly spoke to audiences outside the world of academia. And one of those speaking engagements was a lecture that he delivered at the Battersea Town Hall on Sunday, March the 6th, 1927. The speech was sponsored by the South London branch of the National Secular Society and later transcribed and then published into booklet form. And the title of the writing was, "Why I Am Not a Christian." In my estimation, it should be required reading for every Christian minister. In his lecture, Russell explains why he came to abandon Christianity around the age of 18 and why he never returned to the belief structure of the Christian faith. His explanation was well thought out, and his reasoning makes him highly interesting to those trying to understand why people would choose to embrace the atheist worldview. I find him fascinating. In his speech, Russell addressed the argument of natural law. This line of thinking centers on the idea that the laws of physics needed to be established. That is to say, the laws of physics needed to be made. If that's the case, it then assumes that there is a being who determined those laws, and of course the Christian worldview says that being is God. Russell contended that this was an outdated notion, given the advances in physics that had been made since the studies of Newton, and specifically as it regarded quantum mechanics. Since atomic physics is more statistical than classical, Russell believed that it seemed peculiar to concur that an intelligence is involved in physics. This is what he said. There is, as we all know, a law that if you throw dice, you will get double sixes once in about 36 times. And we do not regard that as evidence that the fall of the dice is regulated by design. Now, I want to take Russell's analogy of throwing dice and ask some questions that, in point of fact, counter his conclusion. To throw a single dice, not a pair, but a single dice, the odds of landing on 6 are simply 1 in 6. That is overly obvious. The odds, however, of rolling 6 some 80 consecutive times is only 1 in 10 to the 60th power. That means this: in order to accomplish that feat, one would need to roll the dice for trillions of years. The precision with which the universe was created far exceeds those odds. Take, for example, just one component of the universe, gravity. The gravitational pull is absolutely exquisite, revealing the finely tuned balance of creation. If gravity were any weaker, nothing would stay together and life would not exist. If gravity were any stronger, the universe would collapse back on itself and everything would be destroyed. Actually, the force of gravity is just right to the ratio of 1 in 10 to the 60th power. The exact same percentage as rolling a 6 with a dice some 80 successive times. Now consider that gravity is only one of the many examples exhibiting these precise specifications. Is this composite of such statistical odds merely the outcome of beneficial accidental circumstances, or does this mathematic truth point to an intelligent being? It would seem that believing the universe is just here without a programmer working a specific plan is like, well, a roll of the dice. The odds are stacked against it.